because this year's we're celebrating 36 years of showcasing historically black colleges and universities in our great state of Indiana and in our city of Indianapolis, while we're also giving out scholarships to make sure that Hoosier students have access to post-secondary education. We kicked off the weekend yesterday with our luncheon at the NCAA headquarters, and we had an opportunity to really celebrate more than 160 student athletes at that time. And then later that day, on the Circle of Indianapolis, we got an opportunity to watch the pep rally, which is always fun and exciting. And then not that long ago, we just left a parade where we had pretty decent weather and great attendance, with tens of thousands of spectators in the community to come out and just watch all of the great performances by a lot of the schools and the bands and the groups that were in the parade. This year, we have been blessed to have Korey Wise as our parade grand marshal. Since we announced Mr. Wise as our selection, obviously we've been inundated by a lot of the media wanting to interview Mr. Wise. And so based on that, what we thought we would do is we would come in and allow Mr. Wise to kind of address the media with respect to, you know, what it means to him to be here and to participate in Circle City Classic, and then to give you an opportunity to ask any questions that you have of him. And so just to kind of start out to share just some of Mr. Wise's background, Korey Wise is a criminal justice advocate and member of the Exonerated Five. Born on July 26, 1972, and raised in New York City, Mr. Wise lived an ordinary life until 1989. The Central Park jogger case riveted audiences across the nation. Mr. Wise, along with many others, were wrongfully convicted in the rape of the jogger. Mr. Wise spent over a decade in prison until the real perpetrator confessed to the crime and set him free. The case was later overturned. Upon his release, he has dedicated his life to liberating those unlawfully incarcerated. The Korey Wise Innocence Project seeks to help get justice for people who would otherwise have no voice and bring awareness to illegal police practices and racial biases. The recent release of the 16-time Emmy-nominated Netflix docuseries, When They See Us, has exposed the case to new audiences and ignited a new fire under freedom fighters. Mr. Wise's life changed as a result of his conviction, and he wants to ensure that no one else's life is impacted by false imprisonment. At this time, I want to bring up Mr. Wise for a few remarks.
Hello, 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 hello. It's beautiful to be here. Indianapolis?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And what else?
Glad to be at the service.
Hmm?
Just glad to be here to participate.
I'm just well and glad to be here to participate in the affairs here.
All right. Any questions real quick?
We heard that it wasn't the Circle City Classic that reached out to you. You reached out to them about wanting to be here. Is that true?
No, I reached out. I'm Mr. Wise agent, and I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana. And for years, we've always come to the Circle City Classic. But it was also amazing that so many other classics around the country has been reaching out to Mr. Wise. So since he was in the Midwest, I just thought to just call and just see if there was something that he can do. And we were excited that they allowed him to be the Grand Marshal. So yes, his office reached out, and the president was so gracious to allow us to come.
Well, what does it mean to you to attend events like this and to be the Grand Marshal this weekend?
Feels great. Feel like a blessing in disguise, you know. It just feels great, and I enjoy it.
Mr. Wise, the current president of the United States, before he was the president, I don't know what he's saying now, if he's saying anything, but at one time he said even he believed in the guilt and the guilt of the other men involved in the case. And how do you continue to do your activism when really powerful people may actually believe you're guilty?
He ain't about nothing to me. He's not even my president. I don't acknowledge him at all. He don't get my energy. I'm hoping this will be his last term here. If not, just my state of mind is to expect the unexpected. You know, like I said, he's just a one-term dude to me. I hope it be that way. If not, he still ain't gonna get my energy. I don't think about nothing. I don't think about nothing that he say at all. He don't know me by first name at all. That's why he don't get no energy from me.
What does get your energy these days?
Being out here with the people. Being out here with the people. I'm a people person. Being out here with them. Feeling they love. As I feel they love, I give it right back to them. And that's why I'm here.
Tell us about the work that you do in criminal justice advocacy.
I just do my best to be that. I just do my best. It sound like that word sound like it's politics to me, but I just do my best to be that. Actions speak louder than words. I just do my best to be that.
Do you wish that we didn't even have to have these discussions? Do you wish that you wouldn't have to speak out?
No, it's politics. No, it's either you answer it or you don't answer it. Just letting your work that you do speak for itself.
What about the fact that you have so many people here to see you, so many people here that admire you? Does that add pressure, or how do you react to that?
Every pressure makes diamonds, and I'm a diamond. They help allow me to become a diamond to them. So as I find myself becoming that chandelier, that's what I represent, a chandelier of beauty, of them.
What about the Netflix series? Can you comment on that? Have you seen it yourself?
Not as often as I like to, because when I see it, the only time I see it is when I find myself going to a Q&A screening of it. That's when I get into it. I get into the roller coaster ride of it.
Is it hard to watch?
Whenever I do see it, yeah, because I wasn't supposed to have made it past that 30-foot wall. No one, whoever makes it past that 30-foot wall, you've been blessed, and it's time to use it. No one makes it past that 30-foot wall. That 30-foot wall within that world on the other side of that 30-foot wall, thick wall, it holds a lot of souls. It's a graveyard. It's really a graveyard for the walking dead. It's really a graveyard. So for anyone to make it from there to here, and at the same time still try to be an advocate for those that's behind that wall, which I'm doing, to here, the only way they find themselves becoming clean from behind that wall, although you could try to become clean because you're dealing with a whole lot of post-traumatic stress behind that wall. Like I said, no one's not supposed to come from behind that wall. But like I said, when you do come from there to here, in order to see your social security number, you got to fill out paperwork to show that you still alive. Because like I said, when you behind that wall, you're no longer alive. You're dead. You're dead. Like the cousin of rest, like the cousin of sleeping. While you sleeping, that's death. That's death cousin. That's the cousin of life. Never know where you will wake up from it or not. So every time I find myself waking up to it, I always thank God. I always thank God for it because He brought me from behind the wall to here and to still wake up to see the people of Indianapolis, as well as Pastor Lynch. So I'm always grateful.
Has your life changed at all since the series came out?
Tremendously, tremendously, tremendously. Photos will put me in my grave. Tremendously. I wish I could just sign autographs. Tremendously. But like I said, I thank my little actor for portraying me very well. I every time I see him, I have a tear in my eye for him because he reminds me of the little Korey that's in me, who I'm serving, and when I like I said, when I see him, I have a tear in my eye because what he did with my life is, like I said, that war, what he did with my life is he done brought my life from life after death. And with his life, looking at it now, to my life, now is a reality, which is now you see us. So, I enjoy it. I enjoy being the movie. When they say I'm just the movie, I try not to be the movie. I guess that's the humble part of me. I try not to be it, but if I have to be it to express it to those that may look like me, beautiful. Even to those who may not look like me, I will try to break it down to their comprehension level to the best of my ability to let them know that whatever you have saw, it could be frictional fact, but it's real. And I have the battle wounds to prove it. And yeah, that's about it.
Two more questions.
How involved were you in the process of the making of the next one?
I tried to, with the great help of the director Ava DuVernay, I tried to be on the set as much as possible because being on the set of it was very new to me, but at the same time, I had found myself using another making of a movie for my blueprint for that, which was Straight Outta Compton, and that was dealing with Ice Cube and his son. So I was just checking that out, along with using another blueprint of what's that movie? What's that program? New Edition, the New Edition story. So I just found myself just using their movies as my blueprint to walk into this here. So I don't find myself becoming a groupie with it, taking photos of it and the whole thing. So that was my blueprint.
What kind of changes do you want to see in this country, whether it be in law enforcement or the court system or prison reform?
Change. I don't really think it would ever really be a change, because the system is will always be the system. But just to put in the minds of the babies of the world, which is before me and outside and on the other side of that door, just wake up. Just wake up. Wake up before they have to charge you to wake up. Wake up while it's free. Wake up. Wake up. Learn what you're supposed to learn. Learn what you're supposed to learn, which is, if you don't know what a lawyer is, your lawyer is your mother and your father. If your mother and your father is not around, they're at work, I hope they are, then you have someone in your neighborhood that you're familiar with, that you like very dearly. You are able to listen to them like they're your parent. Just listen to them. Don't just go off your brain thinking that you know it all. In reality, you don't know it all. Just talk. Ask a question. It doesn't hurt to ask a question. A stupid question is a question that's not asked. Ask your question. Learn. You know what I mean? So, pretty much when you wake up in the morning and by the end of your day, make your day count. Ask your question. Don't think that you know the answer. If you don't know the answer, just ask that question.
Any additional questions for Indiana Black Expo? Thank you for your time.